G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final match tonight, and it looks like this is going to be another one after my heart. We've got, of course, joined by the lovely Mystical again, and I got to say, 2 Leshaks at 0. Talk to us about it, Mystical.
I mean, I guess the more interesting part about the Tulashak team, which I believe is Dreadbomb, is the fact that they also brought their wildcard Malices to the match.
Exactly.
Unsurprising, given the fact that it is lower bracket, so one loss means that you are out. So teams throwing everything that they have at these matches at this moment in time. Whooping in at 0 is always a risky move, so we'll see how it kind of plays out, but I think it will work out for them in this one.
They've got the balls for it, for sure. But meanwhile, on the other side, Mouth Trumpet Cav, we have double Napok, Zarmaz, which is the second time we've seen that. Navy Brutix, Ashimu, Heretic, Dragoon, double Crucifier, so that's a lot of control, and a Punisher, so very interesting comp.
I think the 2 Crucifiers are going to be putting in work in this match. They should be probably just TDing a Leshak each, which will limit the range that the Leshaks have. They don't have any fall-off bonuses. Leshak is optimal or nothing, so they will not be able to apply any damage at all until they're on top of their targets with these TDs coming out.
Yep, you see the Balgorn burning in to try and get webs on target. The Skybreaker went nice and Malice, sorry. Malice went absolutely wild there for a while. But he backed off. He decided not to do it just yet.
Oh, you are right in pointing out that Warhawk in the Skybreaker is just dived straight into the middle of the team, taking massive amounts of damage and immediately going down because the Thalia is just not close enough to get reps on him.
Yep, and the Thalia was actually protecting the Malice instead. That Skybreaker went in a bit too early, but I will say it might have been a good idea. The Balgorn is now in range of at least a few targets, or he was.
Yeah, I think it's just a slow play from the Dreadbomb team, right? They have to take their time going in. They cannot apply damage early on. I do see some damage coming out onto the Heretic. Not quite sure where that damage is coming from. Gonna have to take a quick look at him. It looks like he's just close enough to be shot by the Leshak, so perhaps slightly out of position given the fact that they have the 2 Crucifiers. It is both the Leshaks shooting him while I believe the Balgorn webs him down. So just straight too close, and I think the Leshaks are getting on top of him now.
Also, that's the dangerous thing about this comp for them is they've only got 2 real DPS boats, and with tracking disruptors on them, they're almost turned off at times. They have to get real close to making to their guns.
Okay, so again, there's some really interesting decision-making coming out from MCAV in the sense that, the Leshaks being TD'd down cannot shoot at range. Fine. But the Ashimu just has not moved. Companion is basically sitting still about 80 meters a second and dropping in front of those Leshaks, not yet being shot, but not where he wants to be.
Yep, we can see one Leshak being held down now by the Brutix Navy, so he won't be moving particularly fast. Other Leshak, I think, is going after the Ashimu. So the Leshaks have not only burnt him, but they've also started to separate a little bit. What target are they going after? The Ashimu is going to be the primary?
It looks like Eliana in the Leshak is Liliana, sorry, in the Leshak is shooting the Ashimu. I'm not quite sure what the other Leshak is going for at this moment in time. He's not shooting, from what I can see.
Yeah. He's been tackled by the Brutix Navy, just sitting there. I don't know what he's doing.
He is approaching the Ashimu now, though.
At this point, is he because he maybe thinks he's out of range for his guns? Maybe he needs to load range ammo and give it a try because he's done nothing yet.
Yeah, and the longer that he takes to start shooting this the Ashimu, it means that the Zarm has a longer, time to spool up its reps. So we haven't.
What will get if he reaches cap first? Will it be the Zarmaz gets to the max rep and can tank 2 Leshaks, or can 2 Leshaks break through that Zarmaz at max rep?
I think that the 2 Leshaks will still be able to break through Zarm reps once they are maxed out on the Ashimu, mainly because of the Ashimu's rep or resistance profile, not so much the Zarm itself. The Ashimu is a Tech 1 cruiser at the end of the day, so its resistance is not going to be great, and we can see it dropping now.
I'm so confused. The Leshak still isn't firing, and they were neuting a Punisher? I'm confused.
Yeah, you're right. Loki wasn't shooting the Ashimu just then. Not quite sure why. It's kind of hard to tell what these teams are doing, given the fact that it's such a mess, and they're also not using their ships, which is always an interesting one. Loki's still refusing to shoot.
To be fair, at the moment, the Liliana is also not shooting, but they are burning down towards that Brutix Navy. I suspect Liliana might have the close range ammo loaded, and it's not changing because they know they're going to catch that Navy Brutix.
Okay, well, Loki is shooting now, so his gun does work. They haven't burned it out somehow without activating it once. It's still there. It's still on now, so they are shooting the BNI, and it's dropping quickly. Again, another faction battle cruiser, but the resistance profile just isn't there, I think, for the Zon to keep it up under 2 Leshaks, especially if it's being neutered out by the Malices, which we haven't mentioned, but it is being neutered, so
Yeah.
it will not be able to apply its reps.
Let's say I only just saw the first cycle of reps onto the Navy Brutix, while the Brutix is now halfway through hull. So that Zarm is either being neutered out hard or just was not paying attention to that one. I suspect he was neutered out.
Yeah, both of the Malices found the Zarm. The Leshak as well, I believe, or actually this is the Balgorn, sorry, of Alan is also approaching the Zarm. So he's being neutered by 3 different ships, all of them bonused.
Oh,
So he's
God.
not going to be doing anything for the rest of the match, which means
Oh.
that Loki and Liliana are just going to have to clean up the rest of the grid.
It's like Dexter might think he's back in the old AT with the Blood Raider rules because he's just being neutered out from every direction. He's just crying out in agony.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a challenge, I think, for the MCAV team to pin down the Malices. They don't really have the ships for it. Since they have the 2 Crucifiers, it means that they have fewer tackle frigates or screening ships than other teams usually would. So they had nothing really to stop the Malices from getting on top of the Zarm and turning those reps off.
Yeah, at this point with the Leshaks, would you go after a battleship or would you start trying to pick off, say, the Zarmads yourself?
I mean, I would shoot a ship, is what I would do. We can see that again. The Leshaks are burning. I would say that they are TD'd, so I can understand that they aren't shooting at this point in time. But, they did have options. There were, the Heretic, for example, they could have shot, which was right on top of them. But instead, and quite well played from MCAV, is they've burned the Navy Apox away. They've burned most of their support wing away, so they aren't in range of the Leshaks anymore.
I know we've been kind of riffing on these Leshak pilots, but Loki was just burning towards the 2 Navy Apox, right? And then turned around and is burning the other way while shooting nothing.
Well, I think they noticed that they have the Heretic and the Dragoon behind him, so they've just decided to turn around and shoot those. He did put himself in no man's land, which is partly down to him, partly down to the fact that they have 2 Crucifiers, so it is difficult to fly under these conditions.
Definitely.
He's not yet shooting, to be fair. Again, just not putting that long-range ammo in.
Oh, he is. He's firing.
He's firing now. He's firing. He got to about 10 away.
He clicked F1. We're good. Maybe they didn't bring long-range ammo, perhaps?
I mean, even Mystic, I think, would be shooting at a little bit further than 10k, so maybe not.
Like, with a Crucifier ruining your day, I think 10k might be about right for a Mystic if he's got 2 tracking choppers on him.
Yep.
Maybe.
I mean, he's just promoting with his gun all orbiting. He's pulling a Rex.
And he's not even firing anymore.
Strip died, it's fine, it's okay, that's not on him. That's not on him. He is approaching now, I believe, the Zarm. I don't think they should shoot the Zarm, is what I would say. I think shooting the Zarm is a waste of time. That can be better spent shooting other ships on the MCAF team. So I think what they should do is leave the Malices on the Zarm, and then burn over to the Navy Apox and shoot those, and give them time,
exactly.
time to ramp up.
Exactly. They can even leave the Balgorn on the Zarm if they really cared to. I think just go after those Navy Apox. But that being said, the Apox are actually quite fast. They're burning quite a bit faster than I thought. I'm not sure that Leshak's top speed is yet.
I think Leshaks are somewhat faster than the Navy Apox, but something that Twitch chat has pointed out, and I'm keeping an eye on it, is that the MCAV battleships are trying to shoot Thalias. So
oh god,
they don't have any application buffs, basically. They don't have any vigils with TP bonuses. They don't have any long-range webs. They don't have anything. The Thalias I don't even think are tackled at this point in time. So trying to shoot logistics frigates with Navy battleships is not your best choice. And the Navy battleships have decided to burn in to the Balgorn at this stage.
Pinch me, please. I don't think I'm playing Eve right now. But good news is both Leshaks are now shooting on the Zarmaz, who at this point I think is probably just wishing for death.
I don't even think the Zarm had a plate. It got like 3 shot by. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if MCAV. I think MCAV might have given up. Maybe offline some plates on the Zarm there to make it go a little bit faster. But yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Next stop is going to be the Navy APOC, I believe, of Dr. Horrible. Or are they shooting both? They're shooting both.
Looks like both.
Oh my god.
The Crucifier incredibly close to his own APOC Navy issue, which is absolutely fine. But he is being harassed by Warrior 1s, and they don't have anything to get rid of those drones. Or, I just saw Twitch chat. MCAV washed up. Not quite Twitch chat. It's okay. But the Crucifier is going to have a hard time and is probably going to go down to these warriors quite quickly.
And the Leshak who is shooting one of the Navy APOCs, is still Michael Warp driving around him. I feel like they've tried their best to win this match in the worst way possible. Because it really does feel like it.
I think that could sum up a few of the lower bracket matches that we've seen today. Hyperion in mind, and now Leshak in mind. But with this one, I would say that giving them the benefit of the doubt, two Crucifiers is massively painful to fight into.
The Crucifiers just boundaried. Both of them.
I think one went down to Warriors, right?
Nope, it says both of them were boundaried.
You're right, yeah. One of them boundaried,
right?
one of them boundaried.
It doesn't really matter. This is just an insane fight. We've all gone crazy. I've lost my mind. I'm going to send it back to the studio
it's gone to
now.
time. Yeah.
Send it back to the studio. We're done. Get out of here.